So, Shravan, let's start off. Can you briefly introduce what UART is and what is its importance in modern technology?
So in the UART, so this is the one of the protocols which we are using in the devices of embedded devices, IoT devices, so that we can have an access from the backside of the device, so that we can interact with the boot kernel of the device, so that we can check how it is functioning and whether it is where the problem is existing in the device. So we can check through the protocol of the UART. So UART is a universal asynchronous receiver-transmitter. It uses in the without a clock, so we can whatever the data is there, so we can interact with the device with the data is communication through whatever the data is running in the device, so we can check it from the backside. So from the UART introduction, so what are the UART, right? So it's a universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter. As you can check here in the image, there are 4 points over there. The test pins are there. So wherever you can check in the PCB in the devices, if it is the 4 pins are there, then they are the subjected to a UART. So as you can check, 4 pins are already there in the silver coating. So we can assume that the 4 pins is of UART. So UART is consisting of 4 pins, that is RX, that is the receiver, TX transmitter, GND for the ground, and the VCC for the power supply. Power supplies depend upon the 3 volt, 5 volt, depend upon the devices, which devices we are using. So these are the devices which we are using in modern technology. So modern technology, if we are connecting with the device like home automations, and also the embedded devices which we are having a microcontrollers, computers. So these all the devices are having the UART, so that we can have an interactions with the device with our monitor, so that we can check how the boot process is working and the kernel images are working. So these are all the things are essential in communications in consumer electronic and telecommunications.
Excellent. So that was quite a bit of information. So let's move our attention towards the history and evolution of UART. What are the origins of it? The key milestones in its development, and the transition from hardware to modern implementations. Right. So can you briefly explain what all of this is, and maybe for our viewers, they can understand. Folks who are getting into hardware pen testing, they get a better understanding of what UART is, right? Yeah,
sure, definitely. So let's see how the UART organize and how does it come into industry, right? So in the history beyond, we are using the RS-242, 232, and then these protocols are using the back in the era. So for that, for more convenience to use, if for the interactions, so from the small microcontrollers, if you can take an example, as you can see in the Arduino Mega we are using over there. So from the Arduino Mega, Arduino Nano, Arduino Uno, so we are using the RX TX pins, so that we can have a communications with peripherals, whatever peripherals we are using, LED, motors, and whichever we are using with the Arduino microcontroller, so that we can have an interaction with how it is turning on, off, and then if it is working or not working, if the malfunctions or troubleshootings occurs, and then if we are not getting how it is not working in the front end. So for the checking purpose, if we are communicating with the microcontroller, then in the back end process we can check whether what the problem occurs and where it is stuck. So for that communications purpose, and then protocols which we are using the outdated is RS-232. Instead of that, more modernizations, and also for more reliable, so we are using the UART. If you can check the newly devices also are inbuilt with the UART, because UART is most commonly used, and also that is very user friendly, so that we can have an interaction. So there are certain pins and every we have two type of wires in like like half duplex and full duplex. In half duplex, one directions data transfer from the device to the peripherals, and then two directions is like the two wire we are using like for the data transmissions from the device and the peripherals, so that we can have an access to read and write of the data at a times from the UART section. So we are using the UART for the transmitting of data from, and also we can check like whether the device is working correctly or not. So these are all the things. Because of that, the UART came into picture, and also the more convenience to use. So that's why we are using in the modern technology also. And the previously in 1960s we have already developed the UART. So that's why from there to in the modern technologies we are using the UART.